Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to another exciting episode of Psychology Talks. And today we're going to discuss the art of mastering the mindset. And a lot of people often ask me, what is mindset? And my clear response is that it's basically the lens with you see the world. It's like a filter that whatever information you feed in your mind, it actually goes through the mindset. You see, like a lot of people react to certain situation in a very different way, and a lot of the other people are reacting to it in a completely different way. The main difference is the way they see the situation makes the change. And today we're going to discuss that how you can actually master the art of this mindset, having the mindset. One more thing I would also like to say that this is the series of Algorithm of Life series. It is because of the launch of my book, which is about to happen in a week or so. I will tell you the exact date, but I'm very excited to share my book, which I've been working on for 20 years. And the launch is very soon and it's going to happen with a big noise. So keep keep your subscribe with email on thepsychologytalks.com so you won't miss out that when the launch is happening, and there will be a great discount who are on in my subscribing list. So do subscribe to Psychology Talks through my website, and you will get some great discounts or maybe like some more freebies. So, and one more thing is that there will be exciting campaigns also before and after the book launch. And okay, let's get back to the discussion of today's discussion, which is the art of mastering the mindset. Just let me see if my guest is here. Today's guest is actually, I have invited one of my favorite LinkedIn personality. We've been in touch for quite a long time, but then there was a gap. And but I've been following her on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Her posts are insightful and amazing. Her name is Catherine B. Roy, and she is also called as the LinkedIn Wonder Woman, founder of and CEO of LHM International. She is a TEDx keynote speaker and a podcaster. She is uh, just a second. She needs to join again so she can. Okay, so where was I? Okay, she is a TEDx keynote speaker and a podcaster. She's an experienced entrepreneur and an IT expert for last 15 years, as well as she's also a linguistic researcher and she has published some scientific work. And she's a certified NLP practitioner. She has some certification on positive psychology, assertive behavior, and IQ. And one more thing, which is quite amazing and which is, I would say, very impressive, that she's a member of Mensa with the IQ of 156. Like she is genius than Einstein. So, and she is also the author of Live from Your Heart and Mind, which hit the bestseller list on its release the day she released it. She also writes regularly for HuffPost. And last but not least, she is the most amazing and humble and kind human being. So let's welcome Catherine B. Roy. Hello, Catherine. Welcome to Psychology Talks. It's so good to have you. I'm so honored that you joined today. Thank you.
Hi, pleasure is all mine. I'm so grateful to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all the audience who joined from across the globes, like Andrea, my friend. She is a wonderful lady and she's a good friend. So, hello, Andrea, and thank you for joining. There is Amos, and she's from Kenya, and Michael is from the ma'am said I don't understand, and she is from Pakistan, nature life, and Dheeraj is also a good friend. Thank you, Dheeraj, for joining. Michael has joined is a cause and effect. Yes, master of like mindset is sort of like you have to see the pattern and link, and then you find out that how you can actually master it. So we're gonna discuss in this, and there are lots of other like Philip HSU. He's also a follower. Good. It's actually evening here, but definitely a good afternoon in Canada. And Adil here is just saying that it's clear actually what is mindset. Yeah, we're gonna discuss about it, and so many get. Walaikum assalam, Rihana. So I think I've read all the comments. So keep your comments coming in, and if you have any question, just share your question in the chat, and we will answer your uh, questions. So, so how was your day, Catherine?
It was very, very nice. Thank you. And yours?
Yeah, it's great. It was a bit hectic because there's a lot going on, and as I was telling in the beginning that my book launch is just around the corner, so a
Mhm.
lot going on and a lot to catch up with. So yeah, very busy. It's been very busy.
As I
So
said you before we started, you're one of the kindest and more generous people I ever met.
oh
So
yeah.
I'm very even if it was hectic, we're going to create something beautiful here now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for your kind words. And it's always good to connect with like-minded people who appreciate your work. And I really find your work, your posts are so insightful. And that's what I was telling a little bit earlier, that you are the member of Mensa, which is like, which is an amazing thing.
Thank you.
When I was in college, because oh, sorry, in masters, we can we I did like my IQ test, and it was around 120 or something, which is average, but yours is 156, which is like amazing, higher than Einstein. So yes.
Thank you so much. I actually went to do that test with a friend and my husband,
Ah,
and I didn't know what to expect, but it ended up my husband and I have the same IQ, so there is two of
wow.
us.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Good to have the geniuses like you, and you are
Thank you.
doing an amazing work.
Thank you so
So,
much.
yeah. So before I start the formal discussion,
Mhm.
let's tell our audience a little bit about your self. That why did you choose this particular profession? Why did you write book? So our audience will get to know you better.
Thank you so much. Well, I will be honest, my life was very hectic. As you just said, your day was. I was born in former Yugoslavia, and during the 90s, there was a war here.
Oh,
So I actually spent 78 days in a basement, hiding from bombs, like the situation is Ukraine now, unfortunately. And that was the first moment in my life where I understood someone can take control away from me. And I promised myself that if I survive, and I did, I will do whatever I can to help people to realize that they can create their lives so that this doesn't happen again. And afterwards, I had to face a deadly illness in 2008. I was diagnosed with Coxsackie virus, and actually, they told me I will live year and a half. I'm
oh,
here. So I took it as a sign and a second chance that I should do something in my life that really can make the effect. And that is why I wrote my book. Today, I am a business and transformation coach. I work with clients from 30 countries. I do what I love, and I have just one mission, and that is to help people to do what they love because we spend one third, if not more, of our life working. And
yeah.
if we do what we love and we walk our talk in the path of purpose, we really can make a difference. So that's in short my life story, which everyone says should be a movie, but we will see about that.
Yeah, it's actually very inspiring because when you go through certain phases or challenges in life, it gives you awakening. It gives you a different perspective of life, and I think and as everything happens for a reason, I feel
Hmm.
that once you find the reason,
Hmm.
then you actually change it into your strength, and that's exactly what you did. That you faced several challenges, like the war and this sickness and the disease, I mean, but you overcame everything.
Yes.
And I'm sure your book is very insightful. I haven't read it, but I definitely would get it as soon as possible, and I would love to read it. Yeah, so moving on to the discussion, this mindset is like, as initially gave the introduction, it's like a lens we see everything from. The world is actually, it's like a filter. Every information passed through this, and the way we perceive it, we start believing it.
Hmm.
So the thing is, one thing, like how people actually develop these mindset, and how to actually recognize that this is the mindset which is actually causing the trouble, or which needs to be changed. So what do you think that how they can identify it?
I will be very honest and very vulnerable again. These events which happened led to my complete identity transformation, including mindset, which was the key. If I haven't worked on my mindset and changed the perception of my life, I would still be sad, because how you can feel when these things happen to you? You're sad, you don't understand why things happen that way, you're lost, you're stuck. But what if obstacles don't exist? What
Yeah,
if these events made me stronger? What if these events led me to where I am now? Because we don't get from life what we want,
yeah,
we get what resonates with who we are. And the first step in understanding who we are is mindset. So there is a wide spectrum of different techniques we can use to change our mindset. But first, we must recognize what is the current state of our mindset.
yeah,
And usually, everything comes to I'm not enough.
yeah,
And usually, everyone who lack the mindset of abundance have that I'm not enough core mindset. Now, that is the moment we need to work on. Regardless of if it is a meditation or mindfulness techniques or even hypnosis, I will be honest, I worked on my mindset very deeply because of these events which happened, and I went for hypnosis.
okay.
And I discovered my limiting beliefs. I embraced it as my present and worked on it to change them in my future. So important is to understand where we are, what is actually the state of our mindset in this moment, and then we can choose which technique we want to use to actually change it to the mindset of abundance.
Yeah, I think you defined it so, explained so beautifully, that we need to first recognize it, that what's happening. And when I usually give counseling to a lot of people, what I've seen is that people are stuck in the pattern of the life. This is something that we need to recognize, like if the person is stuck in the same pattern. For example, if the person is unable to have a better relationship or healthy relationship,
Mhm.
that means there is something wrong with that person, not with the others. Like if he keeps on breaking with the people, or if he keeps, or if he or she feels that is hurt by the relationship, that means there's something wrong. And
That's a
as like,
brilliant point. That's
yeah,
completely brilliant point, because I was smiling because I'm sure that life gives us over and over again
yeah,
similar situations, people, and lessons until we learn. And the only way we can change the outcome, regardless if it is a love relationship, a business relationship,
yeah,
whatever it is if we change
yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
because I will attract who I am. And although I might not understand why I attracted a specific person or a situation or a business opportunity, that is what resonates with who I am now. So my job is to increase the level of energy in myself, my self awareness and consciousness, and to become the person I want to be with,
Yeah.
or to become a business partner I want to be with, and
Yeah.
then we will be a match. So the circle will stop. Until then, be sure, circle after circle after circle,
Absolutely.
it's just
Absolutely.
going to happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I've seen with people. That people, for example, they keep on uh, repeating the same thing again, say, keep repeating the same mistake again and again. Like, for example, if they want to have a successful career, but they're unable to move further because of their some insecurities or some like some uh, or some like events in the mind in the back of the mind that may be keeping them or blocking their way to move forward in their life. So one thing that the first thing to become aware of the pattern of your life, to see that where are you going, is your relationship, your career, your whatever you want in life, is making any sense? Is it blocking your way? Are you having the same, or I would say the destiny, or are you having the same result again and again? And as Einstein said, you can't achieve the same result or different result by doing the same thing again and again. So, like you need to change something. And the major thing is the mindset, is the thinking. Yeah.
Yes.
And that makes me to the that directed me to another question, that how we can change that thinking. Because we know, for example, if someone um, uh, have identified or recognized the pattern in their life, they know that okay, there's something wrong with their mindset. How they can actually change, because it's not easy to change the deep rooted beliefs. So how they can change it? What do you think?
Well, actually, I see it as three-dimensional.
Hmm.
One is directly from our mind,
Yeah.
another one is from our heart, and then there comes the connection between heart and mind. This is exactly why my book is called Live From Your Heart and Mind.
Yeah.
So there has to be a situation in our past which made us believe something. This is the core, this is the key. Once we identify what is the situation, we will be surprised. Because usually, in my case, those were things which happened when I was 5 years old, and they
Yeah.
had nothing to do with who I am now. For example, what I discovered during the hypnosis for change the mindset beliefs was that I missed when we were playing basketball. I missed, and someone was yelling at me. I don't even remember that. And
Yeah.
that made me believe that I'm not good enough on the field.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what does that has to do with me now? So the first thing is to calm our mind. And I suggest any kind of meditation, whichever works for us. I
Yes.
tried so many different meditations, and what works the best for me is accepting what is around me, hearing everything, sensing everything, and still be in peace. And then increasing our intuition to guide us towards
Yes.
the right direction in our path, and then we will understand, then the mindset will switch, because from I am not enough, I'm going to, well, I am enough. Not
Yes.
just that I am enough, I'm growing and I'm accepting myself for who I am.
Yeah.
So if anyone doesn't want to go into hypnosis, because I was resolving that on the subconscious level, simply write down the mindset, the belief, the core belief, and we all know what we think about ourselves. We all know what we tell ourselves, and
Yes.
then the opposite of that. So if it is I'm not good enough, just write down I am enough. If it is, I'm not a good team player, just write down, I am a good team player, and play with it a little bit and try to convince yourself. It's going to be hard at the beginning, but it's possible. If I could do that from the scratch, I'm sure that everyone else can. So I advise a subconscious level mind reprogramming, But if anyone thinks that's woo woo, like it can be told that way, just write it down and switch. Write it down and switch. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely loved it. And actually, um, you said that we need to trust the intuition, and Andrea said like our heart has its own brain, and yes,
Yes.
exactly. That's what we need to basically believe in ourselves. As you said that first thing is that as you said that whatever the beliefs we have, we need to recognize it. And one of the easy way also is
Mhm.
to write it down, to journal your thoughts. This is one of the major ways to find out that what is basically your thoughts, what are your thoughts in your mind. And then you become aware of your thoughts, and then how you do it. And as you said that we need to change it, because most of the time people feel that as you said, they're not enough, they're not good enough, or they're gonna fail it. And that's what their belief in the subconscious mind creates an obstacle, creates the limit in front of them, and they cannot move further. For example, if someone wants to have a good career, but if they think that if they are not good enough, they will never be able to achieve the level of success they want in life, because their belief is creating an obstacle in their way. So first of all, you need to change the belief that yes, you can do it. And as Catherine said, that it's not easy. It's not easy. You need to practice it again and again and again and again, and have a strong belief in it. And one thing I actually really love, because I love intuition, because this is the inner voice you have, that the guidance you get from your heart, and that will always lead you to the right direction. But that again comes to another question, that how do you actually recognize the voice of intuition, because it's very subtle and it gets lost in lots of other noises in our mind. So what do you say in that? How do you recognize this?
Well, from my experience, people usually tend to think if it is a fear that is talking to them or if it is an intuition. And I would
Yes.
say if it feels good, then it's intuition. If you have any kind of sense in this place which is not feeling good, it's not your intuition. So
Yeah.
first of all, again, we need to calm our mind. And again, it will come to meditation, which will allow us to focus. Everything is energy. We have an energy field around us. You know, Nikola Tesla is one of my favorite people in the world. As you
Yeah,
might notice, I have a cup
yeah.
with
Okay,
the
nice.
drawing of Nikola Tesla. And he said, if we understand the power of numbers 3, 6, and 9, we will understand the universe. What does this
Yes.
has to do with everything? It is a frequency. It is a linear growth, 3, 6, and 9, and it is a frequency. Everything has a frequency.
Yes, yes.
So, if we find a way to create an energetic field, and I'm talking in quantum physics now, like he explained it,
Yeah.
around us, which is positive, and we have our own bubble, and we have just few minutes of peace, and ask a question to yourself, you will get the answer. Why? Because your heart knows what is the best way. And when we talk about intuition, it's interesting thing that I actually was in Goldman Sachs program for business development and their investment bank. And what I was surprised with, they suggested that we use a kind of a decision making system and intuition. And if it is a match, that is the way to go. So, self talk is very important, and our intuition actually can't speak louder than our self talk.
Yeah.
But if we stop the critic inside of us, and if we embrace ourselves just as we are in the pure love, we will allow intuition to speak. So be sure you will not hear or recognize intuition if you are bullying yourself. If I mean, you would never say to a best friend, I don't mean you, Amber, I am just talking in general, like You're not okay, you're not enough, you're stupid. No, why would you say that to yourself?
Yeah.
Be your own best friend. Increase the level of energy. Invite peace in your life. Find a spot in your home, in your office for 5 minutes meditation and ask a question. And
Yeah.
you will get the answer. That's it. You don't even need to go to meditation.
Yes.
Just learn to breathe and
Yes.
allow your heart to say to you. You know, everyone knows. No one will say, I don't know what she's talking about. Just some people
Yes.
don't focus on our heart voice. And that is
Yes.
where the solution is.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely loved it, and especially the angle that you brought in about the quantum physics, because it is one of my favorite actually subject, and that's what I have written in my book that is about to be launched. That how you actually find the voice of intuition, and as you said that it's all energies, it's all frequencies, and we just need to learn to attune ourselves to
Hmm.
those frequency, and once we do that,
Hmm.
our everything gets in alignment.
Hmm.
And in my book I have actually give a complete chapter on this, and I find it written that the one major thing is that there are several voices, and our the voice of intuition gets lost because we keep on asking for the logic or finding the rationale behind whatever it's in, because the thing is that intuition doesn't work on the logic or doesn't work on rationality. So actually, and as you said beautifully, that when you feel at peace and calm, because then you realize that that is the voice of intuition. And the one more thing I would add here, that the voice of intuition remains consistent. For example, if you're meeting with someone at the first time and you don't actually get the vibes, those vibes will remain the same whenever you meet. So
Yes.
like the this feeling from the intuition will remain consistent, whether you would ignore, if you ignore it, then it will go away. But if you keep hearing it, or if you keep believing on it, you will actually strengthen it, and then you will find out that okay, your intuition was right, maybe that person wasn't right for you, or maybe the job wasn't right for you, because the inner feeling will create sort of a dissonance in you, a sort of a frustration in you, because it doesn't match the frequency of yours and with the other person. So
Yes.
that's one thing that and I have explained it in great detail in the book, and whoever like wants to or is interested will please keep a check on my website, and you will find out that when is the launch. And so anyways, we actually moved to the intuition, and now we need to talk about the mindset. But I think the mindset and intuition are quite interlinked, because eventually this is all our thoughts and our thinking pattern, and we need to find out, we need to be aware of what our thought pattern is and why is it. And because intuition is like a guiding star, it guides us wherever we want to go. So that's why it's very important, like to have the right mindset, and then the belief on your intuition and on yourself. Okay, so now moving on further, there are like a lot of people talk about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and and one thing I just noticed that the people with the fixed mindset are very difficult to deal with. So before I move on and asking that how to develop a growth mindset, I would ask you that how to deal with the people who have a fixed mindset.
You just don't.
Yes, I
You
know.
just don't. It's interesting thing when we learn that there are several mind maps.
Yeah.
There are people who just believe very firmly in what they believe, and those are people who are in I am mindset.
Yes.
And when you recognize the linguistical pattern, and I was researching linguistics for 4 years,
Oh, wow.
then you practically know and you just say, you're right, and let it go. It doesn't matter if that person is not right. You are not here to fix other people's mindsets. Again, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking in general.
Yeah.
But to understand how the other person is actually functioning and to find the language which is in common. So if someone has very strict, firm mindset, you will lose your energy. You will maybe even stress out with them. And if you can, try to stay in your bubble. So don't go into convincing them that your way is right. No, show them by your example. It will
Yes.
take more time, but they will see that you have succeeded in something which you did on a different way, and maybe you will inspire them. So when I recognize that someone has a fixed mindset, I carefully listen to them because I strongly believe that whoever came to my life came for a reason. So there is something I can learn from them and maybe adopt and accept, but I never try to fix that because uh, if they are so, that's not my place to be, and that's all. And then I save myself from a lot of energy loss.
Yeah, yeah, very true. I actually completely agree with you that, we cannot change the person unless that person really needs or wants to change. That is
Exactly.
the other exception, but you cannot change them.
Yes.
So you can just be or do whatever you want to, or just do not, like, maybe if you have to live with them, try to minimize the interaction with them, and that's it. And one thing that I like, in case if people are like have to live with them, for example, if their boss is having a fixed mindset, or if their spouse is having a fixed mindset, or maybe like the family member, so of course minimize the interaction. But in case you cannot do that, just ignore and try to not take on your ego, because they need someone to feed their ego. So the thing
Exactly.
is that,
So
yeah,
don't be on the same scale with them.
yeah,
That's the point.
absolutely,
Be the
absolutely.
smarter one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So now coming to the second question, that how to actually have the growth mindset, because this is the growth mindset is the one that where which attracts all the abundance and the success in life. So how to actually get that
The
mindset?
most beautiful thing which helped me to switch to a mindset of abundance or growth mindset was realizing that we were born with one.
Yeah,
So when baby was is born, baby know what it wants. When
yeah,
it's hungry, it cries. When it wants to go to toilet, it pees. Whatever. And it doesn't think there is something wrong with me.
mm,
Okay? So we don't need to invent something new. We just need to go back in time to the mindset which we had when we were born. Or do we think we didn't? Yes, we did. Once the humans were living in, I don't know, jungles or something like that, it was okay to have fear from the circumstances around. Now, the real fear was what I felt in that basement. Nothing is going to happen to me like that. So the fear and the situations we went through made us believe differently.
yeah,
So I would say reset yourself to the beginning
yeah,
because you are loved, you belong, and the most important thing, once you adopt that to start believing about yourself that way, surround yourself with people who are only quality people and who will support you and believe in you. So
yes,
we need to clean our environment from any kind of energy which will take us down. Once we change and once we start believing in ourselves, we need support because again, we're learning to walk. And that
yes,
support is surrounding ourselves with people we can learn from, like yourself, for example. So find your tribe, find your support, find those who will believe in you, and never allow those who will not or those with fixed mindset to take you back down. My best my best advice for everyone would be start being aware as of this moment
Yeah.
that your belief system and mindset is projected by the past, and that's not your life anymore. We are the consequence of our past and at the same time the cause of our future. So today you decide that you are going to investigate what you think about yourself, write it down, change that, start talking to yourself in positive affirmations, and find people who will support you. You don't need to learn something new, you
Yeah.
just need to be who you were when you were born. So
Yes.
release and just let the things be and not try to change them purposely.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah, completely agree. And Andrea said that reset and surrender. Yes,
Exactly.
we need to actually reset ourselves to our default setting, I would say, whatever that
That's
we've been
that's that's the word
downloaded.
I was looking for. Just reset to the default settings, like
Yeah,
when you were born, because there is a reason you are born. There is a reason why you are
absolutely.
here. There is a purpose. There is something that you can do to help other people. Go, I don't know, help a old lady in your neighborhood. Just
Yes.
do something which will make you feel good, and from
Yeah,
that gratitude from that person, you will start feeling gratitude for yourself and grow
absolutely.
from that place and that energy everywhere. I
Yes.
mean, I'm a business coach, and you don't actually hear this from a business coach,
Yeah.
but whoever made a success in this like expansion, like I did, they know this.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this, and we can hear a lot of very successful business people actually now talking about mindset, like Ariana
Yeah.
Huffington or Vishen Lakiani
Yeah.
or whoever. This is the key, and we need to be
Yes.
aware of this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for actually all your sharing these insights and experience and wisdom with us today. Our like show is about to end. So, but before I actually close the show, what one advice would you give to our audience today?
Everything is temporary, and we tend to think that we have unlimited time. What my experiences had shown me is that that's not the truth. So we need to embrace our life and live each day as possible as we can that it is the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very powerful message actually. When we realize that, we have limited time, then we realize the real urgency, and that set the priority in our life, that what actually we need out of it.
What is really important? Who is really
Absolutely.
important?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important, to set boundaries and to set priorities.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, very nice. So, any question from the audience, feel free to ask. And after the show, tell us that how they can reach out to you. Like, do you have website? I know you're very active on Facebook and LinkedIn also. So, any website you want to share with them, or any, just tell our audience that how they can actually contact you after
Thank you
the
so
show.
much. You can
Yeah.
always find me on LinkedIn. That's the best place to be, as Catherine B. Roy. And my website is catherinebiroy.com. And another one, lhmacademia.com, where I help people to grow their businesses online. So
Oh,
those are the two best ways to reach out to me. And
okay.
feel free to do so. I'm very, very
Yeah.
open for new connections.
Yeah, very kind and very humble person. You would
Yep.
love to have the interaction with Catherine. So please, if you have any questions, yeah, even after the show, please feel free to contact her. And I would recommend you to please share the link in the chat or in the comments after the show, so they
Oh,
will get to know this. So, or if you have the link here, I can share it here. No problem. So
I
if
will
you have
share
it
it.
only.
I will share it.
Okay. Okay,
No
that's great.
worries.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And it's asking, can we have the title of your books within the link? Yes, I will share the title of my book is The Algorithm of Life, which will be launched in a week or so. And yours is the Lives with Something. I
Live
forgot.
from your heart and mind. I will also share a link.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's great. We'll
Thank you.
definitely share the links. So thank you everyone for joining today. And most importantly, thank you so much, Catherine, for joining and sharing your wisdom with us. It was a lovely discussion and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So thank you so much.
It's my absolute pleasure, and thanks everyone for listening.